Hey everybody, this is Ariel, and today what's going on here is basically you sent us in a lot of questions. I'm so grateful that you guys care about what we do, and I thought it'd be cool to put all your questions into little mini episodes, and we're going to answer them all. So today's topic, what I want to talk about, is being a band. So let's just jump into it. How did you guys meet? And that refers to all of us. I feel like we've known each other for at least almost 20 years now.
Yes.
I don't remember the first moment when we met, but I do remember the first gig we ever did together. And it's so specific, but I think it was early 2007.
Uh-huh.
And we played a duo jazz wallpaper gig at the Fort Garry Hotel.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So that was the first time.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So Julian and I have known each other for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Jon, I feel like we met in 2016 or 17 because we both ended up on a gig together, right?
Yeah. Hey, the gig, I think, maybe?
Yeah, it was a gig for our friend Soul James in a house, or an apartment, rather. Immediate friendship, immediately just saw that as a good guy right there. So, yeah. What about you guys? When did you guys meet?
I think we also maybe were playing with Soul James, right?
Actually, yeah.
At Falcon. Was that the first time? That's what I remember our first gig was out at Falcon
Either
Lake.
that or there might have been like a rehearsal with like the the jazz collective. I think maybe there was a rehearsal. One thing led to another.
Yeah.
And we're here now.
We are.
There you have it. Okay, next question. How did the drummer, that's you, Jon, get into singing and playing simultaneously?
I feel like I just maybe spent more time recording myself and playing, and then just getting more comfortable with doing that, because I feel I didn't start out singing, so it felt completely weird at first. But yeah, I think like more so, I feel like I remember you were very encouraging. Like first rehearsal, I was kind of like, ugh. But you're like, oh man, just keep working at it, and so I appreciated that encouragement for sure, to just have a chance to work on it. So, because it's fun. Yeah.
There you go. You just got to work on it. Next question. This is an uncomfortable one for Julian, but how did Julian become such a badass?
I feel like I disagree with this statement.
Pray tell.
No comment.
No comment.
No, come on.
How do you approach taking these layered, fully produced songs and playing them as a trio? So what that means basically is, when we make a record, we kind of go crazy on overdubs and guitars and keys and vocals and all these extra parts. We don't really think about applying it to a trio. When we start to perform these songs, let's say when there's a new record and we start preparing for a tour, we start rehearsing, of course. We all prepare. It's easier for these guys just play their parts. But in terms of guitar, I kind of have to just take all the parts that I feel are the most impactful, and the parts that I feel, if you're subconsciously listening to a song, what are the things that you remember? What are the things that stick out to you? And you combine those with just supporting the song while playing rhythm and taking moments, and then just kind of putting it together. And it starts at that place, and then once we start touring and playing, it always evolves. It always turns into something else, a new thing here or there changes, and we just kind of go from there. So like whenever we are touring, we're often recording every show and listening back.
And then having it evolve just by playing. I feel like the more we play as a trio, the more it kind of forms into its own thing a little bit.
Everyone finds their place.
Yeah, exactly. You change little things like very subtly, and yeah.
There might be times too you might kick on like an octave or something a bit deeper to fill out a section.
Exactly, yeah. That isn't on the record.
That isn't necessarily on the record. That stuff can have some serious impact. Saw you guys in Indy and it was so tight. Thanks for coming. Any advice on how to develop that? I'd say it's just got a continuation of what we just talked about. We're still trying to figure that out. We're always just trying to get better and I guess, be as tight as possible. But it's just a matter of doing it a lot and listening back, being aware of how you're sounding, being aware of how things are feeling and what's connecting with people and what isn't. And then specifically as a trio, just, it's a canvas. It's like this blank canvas. And this goes for any musical scenario. It's never about just one person, even if it's someone's name on a marquee. Everyone has a role, like trying to fill in on this canvas to fill it out. And everyone just has to be super dialed in and listening to everybody, but focusing just on their job to make sure everything makes sense. And I feel like that's just what we work on and try to do.
I would say like when we listen back to the recordings of live shows, it's so helpful for me because I think I've noticed when playing live, sometimes I'm hearing the parts that are on the record that aren't there. So listening back as a trio, like you kind of see what works and what doesn't and what actually is not there, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. It's actually funny to me because I feel like we get we play a lot and tour a lot and we listen back to it a lot. And I don't really listen back to the actual recordings, the albums. So I get so used to how we do it live. The odd time I hear the actual recording, I almost forget that there's all these extra parts because I'm just so kind of comfortable in how we do it. I think we find a way to still make it really full and hopefully satisfying to listen to and all that stuff. As a band, what are some tips to make rehearsals as productive and fun as possible? Well, I think the saying goes for rehearsing or for performing or traveling. When you're doing something as intimate as like essentially making art and playing music, original music and stuff. Outside of that, it just tends to come with spending a lot of time with each other. And I feel like for us, I want you guys to say what you think, but I feel like we just have a silly time. We just have fun. Mm-hmm. We take the music side seriously, and we take the job part of it seriously, and we want to do a good job. But everything outside of that, we don't take seriously, especially ourselves. And by doing that, it always just never feels like work.
Exactly. You got to have a balance between those things, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like try and show up with your part learned and kind of take care of your end. But I feel like we're buds, so there's the side of trying to be kind of take care of your own shit, but then keeping the environment light is like, I feel like that's just a super ideal combo. And not everybody's lucky to have like a kind of a fun work environment like that. So, but I feel like that's really ideal, just if you can bring the good vibes on your end, and
exactly,
I think it just brings out the best in everyone.
What exercises do you do to improve your singing? Okay, well,
should we show them
well, we have a warm-up routine, which all of our friends, we all use the same one. It's this vintage cheesy vocal warm-up. There's like 12 tracks, and we just run it before a show. And it actually helps a lot when you're, traveling all day and not talking or just yapping. It's really good to get the vocal cords kind of in that mindset and ready to sing, because it is a different thing, especially touring. It's all about preservation and not losing your voice or getting sick. So things like that help, and like drinking a lot of tea and water and stuff like that. The way to improve your singing with exercises is to sing. Like you just got to, like, kind of like Jon was saying at the beginning, he kind of started singing without really ever singing much. A little bit, but you just started doing it a bunch, and in time it gets a lot more comfortable to do, gets more natural.
Yeah, for me it's just like practice as much as possible. Like at home, singing and playing at the same time when I'm practicing at home. To recordings, I have to play because that's when it becomes challenging for me. So yeah, just lots of that, lots of practice.
I found that like just actually writing some, like making up some little little ditties and stuff. You know, they're kind of hilarious and embarrassing, but like.
Could you give an example?
Yeah, please give us an example.
Nope. But like, you know, I would kind of start writing more original stuff just for fun, and but like I actually found that actually was like a really good vocal exercise too, because it was kind of like I was finding more of my natural voice maybe.
Yeah.
So like in addition to kind of trying to practice like parts on your songs and other stuff too, I don't know, I feel like finding your natural voice in a way that feels comfortable to you, I guess, maybe is a good thing to shoot for.
Okay, last question. Will you ever expand the band to more than a 3-piece? Bonus points for the rhyme there. Potentially. The thing that happens when you add more people to the mix is that it just refines the space for everybody. And as awesome as it is, it's absolutely awesome. We've done it for videos. We've done it for certain sessions and stuff like that where we expand. And I love it, especially when people, you know, we're all on the same page and we're all just kind of getting to that finish line and kind of playing the parts down. It's unbelievably satisfying. But at the same time, there's a beauty in the space of this trio, and I feel like I'm so attached to the space. A lot of people, I think, shy away from that space and like to rely on all that being taken up. But I personally love it. But I also love more instrumentation. So we'll see down the road. But never say never. But for now, I like the trio.
People in time, they were all born